The big news in the world of sports today is that Tom Brady is leaving New England. He announced via social media that he will not be re-signing with the Patriots this offseason, meaning he will start on a new team and they will start with a new quarterback for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Let's bring in Arash Madani right now to help assess the legacy here of Brady. Arash, you have a great piece up on Sportsnet.ca right now talking about Brady's New England tenure, and it starts with the words, "It never should have happened." Now, you're, of course, referencing his career in general, which we will talk about, but there are a lot of people, particularly in New England and Boston, that feels this breakup shouldn't have happened either. How did we get here in your eyes?
Well, I think it was inevitable, Faisal. I mean, when you think about the Giants the Patriots have had over the years, through the 6 Super Bowls they've won in the Belichick-Brady era, the pillars of this franchise, one by one, there were unceremonious departures. There were divorces. Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy, Ted Johnson, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Richard Seymour. And that's just on the defensive side of the ball, where you haven't even gotten to Matt Light and Logan Mankins and Randy Moss and the rest. So why would it be different for Tom Terrific? And that's why we find ourselves here 20 years later, that with Bill Belichick, this is not about sentiment. This is not about a personal relationship. This is transactional. This has and always been about business and what is the best for the organization. And Bill Belichick didn't feel that a player turning 43 is going to be the best option for that team if it means paying him $25 million a year, which is why we are where we are.
He might not be wrong either. I think we've been waiting for Brady to crack as a football player for about a decade. Maybe we saw the first glimpses of that towards the end of last season. Still, it doesn't make the headline any less crazy to read. Tom Brady will not be a New England Patriots quarterback. Does this at all diminish the legacy at all of Brady? Because I choose to ignore the fact that Michael Jordan was a Washington Wizard. Is this how we're going to look back at Brady playing with any other team going forward?
And do you ignore Wayne Gretzky finished his career with St. Louis and then New York, or you ignore that?
Never happened. Never happened. He's an Oiler and a King. That's it.
Right. And Joe Montana's career ended with him concussed on the turf, a member of Kansas City.
Kansas City, yep.
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Any and all Mount Rushmore in all of football begins with Tom Brady, because it begins with the quarterback, and he is the unquestioned best to ever do it. Now, I don't know if Tom Brady is in decline. I really don't. I don't think a lot of us do, because Tom Brady's best weapon last year was Julian Edelman, and then who? His last deep threat, right? His last deep threat was probably Randy Moss, who hasn't been there in a decade. They've tried Chris Hogan. They've tried Dante Stallworth. They had Antonio Brown for a game. And that's it. Tom's saying, give me weapons, give me something to work with. And all along, Belichick has felt that his system and the Patriot way can plug and play almost any quarterback into this and have success. I just finished, Faisal, reading Ian O'Connor's terrific book called Belichick. He spoke with 300 people who have known Belichick over the years, who have been close to the Patriots, close to the Cleveland Browns, and the New York Giants prior to that. And what Belichick had told confidants over the years is that he'd love to have a chance to win a championship without Brady. Well, Bill, here's your shot. Here's what you've asked for. And something tells me, Faisal, that Tom Brady would love to lift a Lombardi trophy without Belichick. The question becomes, can either of them do it without one another?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, who has the most to lose in this then? You think it's Brady or you think it's Belichick?
I don't think either of them have anything to lose. Just, Belichick's got a boat that used to be called 5 rings, and then it got called 6 rings. And I think, what's he up to now? 8? Because he has the 2 with the Giants and now the 6 with New England. So, look, he's cemented as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Brady's cemented as a first ballot Hall of Famer. But so much of this is about ego now also. That New England thinks that they are in a better situation with an Andy Dalton, for instance, at quarterback over Tom Brady tells you something. And that Tom Brady is willing to now go through OTAs and go through an entire offseason, mini camps, well, if those exist now in this COVID-19 world we live in. But but things that he never had to do before because of the continuity in New England. That in part is why we are where we are.
Either way, Arash, it'll be weird to see Tom Brady in a different jersey, especially if there's some element of red in it, like some are suggesting right now. Again, Arash has a piece on the entire tenure of Brady in New England and how it happened and how it ended. You can see that on sportsnet.ca right now. Arash, thanks for this.
All right, Faisal, stay safe, man.